At Salt and Light, our vision is to equip those living in poverty with the tools they need to create lasting change in their lives, while communicating God's love and plan for them through His Son, Jesus Christ. Over the past 10 years, the pursuit of this vision has provided many opportunities for ministry. Whether it be through ministries like our food pantry, clothing closet, financial literacy programming, or computer technology, or in simple conversation between staff, volunteers, or clients. While we are intentional in our programming to aid in accomplishing our vision, it is often in those unprogrammed moments where we really see God move, the ministry between the ministry. Out of the many stories that could be told from over the past 10 years, here are just a few to share about how Salt and Light is impacting the lives of those in our community.
It's a pleasure to be there. It really is. It really is.
So the computer lab was, what brought you out, just to learn more and
just
get
to learn more
familiar?
about a computer. At 76, I knew nothing really. I have a computer, but we played games on it. And I've learned how to cut, copy, and paste. Oh my! I've learned quite a few techniques. I really have. It's a good learning facility. It really is. And Amani is a good instructor, and she has the patience to come back and forth with us. And you're never too dumb, because she'll come right in and correct what you're doing. I've learned to highlight things, which I thought was lost, but she finds them for us. It's good. The computers are just good too.
So, in your time there, what has been, I guess, what is being there in Salt and Light and all that meant for you, maybe even beyond what you're actually just learning with the computers?
My good comprehension and knowing that Salt and Light has a lot of ministries there. In my coming down, I've noticed you are serving people who are who are needy, and I've seen quite a few ministries come through your facility there, and it's all good. And all the people that I've come in contact with in the front, good morning, how are you, goodbye, have a good morning, have a good weekend. We talked about the weather. It's all good. It's a good ministry. It really is. Mm-hmm.
Now, have you gotten to meet anybody else in the computer lab that maybe you didn't know prior to coming in?
Oh, yes, I have. I met Amani's mother. I met Miss Jean, who her car just broke, and we pray for each other. We learn to take on each other's burdens and say it's going to be all right. I met quite a few people that came in to do resumes and apply for jobs and fill out those worksheets and things. It's really good. Mm-hmm.
Well, what is something that you think that maybe somebody isn't aware of, or that you would just like to share about Salt and Light, you like people to be aware of?
I would let them be aware. And I have told people in my church, if you don't know a thing about a computer, come to Salt and Light. She has the patience of Job. She starts from the very beginning. When she gave us the rules, we follow the rules, and it's a no nonsense lab there. And the comprehension of what she's teaching us is very good. She has the patience to go with me, who is not computer literate, and I have enjoyed it immensely. I just purchased a brand new Apple computer from Best Buy. I got myself an iPad, and I have a laptop. And before, I wouldn't have thought of that.
The two of you, what led you guys to kind of go through the financial literacy class, to begin with?
I actually found someone had posted it on Facebook, and they said, hey, anybody, this is something that you should really go through. And I was like, everybody talks about Dave Ramsey, but I was like, I've never really gone through it. And I'm like, my finances are a mess. And we were trying to combine households and trying to plan for a future wedding and future period. And it was just something that I really felt led that was something we should do.
So now, as you guys, you go ahead, you get signed up, and you come into the class, and what was your experience like? Kind of going through that and everything with the curriculum.
I thought it was great. I mean, being able to just have even a different person's perspective on wow, you don't really have to live paycheck to paycheck, and that it's even despite how little or how much you make, I found that we were spending more money than I ever had any idea that we were spending.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
I couldn't even afford the class. I went in and I was like, I'm sorry, but I don't have any money. And he's like, it's okay, and handed me a packet. And so it was great knowing okay, it's okay that I don't have 50, 100, 200, I don't even know how much the packet is, but it should be worth a lot because just the amount that we have have been able to learn from it is, I mean, literally every single day we have a conversation about where we are in our budget and whether or not, something needs to be tweaked, or, if we have a health issue come up, like, okay, where are we going to find the money for this medicine or anything like that. And I think it's just hugely important to be able to, especially have it in a kind of a safe place, a non-church place. While you guys are a church, but like you're not a church building
Right.
per se, and that scares a lot of people away, I think, from being able to go to that. And so I think it just overall is fantastic, and I can't encourage enough people to go.
What kind of has meant the most to you about your experiences at Salt and Light over these last 10 years?
One thing is the meeting of the people that come through the doors, the needs of the people, and then just the knowing that the little thing that you do, say, and give helps others, and they really appreciate it. And I mean, it feels good to know that you can give out a helping hand and you can help someone else. Also, it's like a family there. I love it because it's just like one family. We're like a family there, and we all come to serve. We're servants one to another, and helping out others, and yet being around you guys every day and learning new things as I go along, because it's also a learning experience too. You learn things that you didn't know about others and how you feel about others, and things just in general. The way people feel when they come in and how you can make them feel when they leave out. So it's a learning experience also. A lot of people do now that we're there. They're learning that if they need someone that they can talk to or confide in, they actually come there for that also. They want to know different things or things about other things. They would ask for one of our members at Salt and Light to give them some, shed a little light on areas that they don't know about. Even when they need a helping hand on something, even if we don't have it, they want to know where they can get it, but they come to us. And I'm glad that people are noticing that we're more than just, we can give food and clothing. I mean, we're there if we know something they need to know, or if they just need us in general to be there to pray with them or just confide in, that we're there for that. That's what I see that's happening a lot now. I really see that more than anything, as well as giving that we do.
Now, I know that, every day before we open up for our food distribution every Wednesday, that you kind of typically lead the group in prayer. How did that evolve, and how did you kind of assume that leadership role over that?
I guess one day, when we got ready to have prayer, I think I said, I'll pray this time, spirit, or if they either asked if somebody want to pray, and I was like, hey, I'll pray. And then once I started praying, it got to the point where when everybody got ready to pray, they looked at me. So I just started out with the prayer, and then when there was prayer requests, they tell me before we pray, and we pray, and then we pray about those requests and continue on. That's how I end up with it.
And so what do you feel is that makes it so important to kind of have that prayer before we open up?
Oh, we do need that prayer before we open up, because if there's any tension, it breaks the tension. If it's anybody not feeling where they need to be at, it puts things in perspective when you have that prayer and lets them know that we are all here for each other. And as I pray for myself, I'm praying for you. So whatever your needs are, we pray that God provide those needs for you, and whatever our part is in it, we're here for you also. And they're starting to get it. They're getting it. They're getting it, because when it's prayer time, if a situation come in hand, can you pray about this? Can you pray for my brother? Can you pray for this? So once the prayer is over, if there's any tension, there's no more tension. There's clapping, smiling, hugging, and we're ready to start.
Obviously we have volunteers coming from all walks of life,
Mm-hmm.
that come in there. And so, not every volunteer that comes into Salt and Light is someone who goes to church or, claims the same faith that we do. And so, have you seen that as an area of ministry as well?
Yes, I have. Because it gets to the point where people are going through and they come to you and talk to you, and then as I talk to them, I may say, can I pray for you? But before I pray for you, do you mind if I pray for you? And they'd be like, sure. But after the prayer, after I pray for them, I have a little conversation with them about, you know, it don't have to end here. It doesn't end here. You yourself can continue this on. You have a word that you can read, and there's the God that you can pray to. You also can do this on your own when you're not around me. You can continue it on. And I have done that to some. And and told them, and they may even ask, where can I start at? And well, you can start here in this area of the book and continue on, and take your time. You don't have to rush it, but you'll get it. You'll get it.
The ministry of Salt and Light could not take place without the generous support of those who give of their time and their financial resources. By choosing to participate in the ministry, you have the opportunity to be the very hands of God. Not just the tools of God, but the very hands of God. What if for one day, instead of staring straight ahead, focused on our own cares and concerns, we earnestly sought to see those around us as God sees them, love them as He loves them, and allow our hands to be His hands? By choosing to participate in Salt and Light, by giving of your time or your resources, you have the opportunity to be the very hands of God. If you'd like to find out more about how you can get involved in the ministry of Salt and Light, feel free to visit our website at www.saltandlightministry.org or give us a call, 217-355-5654.